Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 23rd of September 2025. So gold surges to new record highs as Bitcoin dips and big tech rips further to the upside. AI stocks plus 77% from April lows as M&A and IPO tsunami continues. So no stopping the markets at the moment. US stocks closed higher on Monday with Nvidia and OpenAI boosting sentiment. US stocks closed higher on Monday, owing a large part of the gains to a strategic partnership announced between Nvidia and OpenAI. So the tech sector certainly continuing to move. Nvidia OpenAI deal leads stocks higher ahead of Powell. He's going to be speaking then, and gold soars to fresh record as inflows into gold ETFs hit 3-year highs. So no stopping the metals there, as we've already spoken about. Interest in the gold is moving higher. The stock markets are moving higher. Gold is only allowed to move higher if there is a problem, and there is a problem behind all of this. But at the moment, it's being, as it has been since 2008, it's being ignored, plastered over, and kicked down the road. So the markets continue to move higher, and there's more, potentially another 2 rate cuts coming before the end of the year. In which case, that's just going to send the markets high. You've then got the seasonal Santa rally. So barring any geopolitical or world event, i.e. war escalating in the Middle East, etc., with regards to Palestine now seen as a state by certain countries, then the markets will continue to move to the upside. Let's have a look at what we've got economic news wise today. We've got the flash news today, which is always a pain in the proverbial, because you just don't know how it's going to react, and abreact is the case. Trump is going to be speaking at 10 minutes to 3, Richmond manufacturing, and then Powell is going to be speaking at 5:30 p.m. What is he talking about? So due to speak about economic outlook at the Greater Providence Chambers of Commerce Economic Outlook Luncheon in Rhode Island. Oh, there you go. Nice gig if you can get it. So, yeah, he's obviously being paid for that gig. And it'll be interesting to see what he has to say at 5:30 p.m. and how the markets will react to, whether he hints at further cuts or not. So that's what the market will be waiting for there. Right, let's have a look at the markets and the continuing all-time highs, and kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow, we've got a new all-time high yesterday, 46,452. The madness continues, and is going to continue as well. So with the Nvidia and OpenAI deal, the market is now supported by this as well. You can see what happened with the cash market there at 2:30. The buying came in, the market then just launched to the upside and remains that way as well. So watch yesterday's high, which is an all-time high, likely to be taken out in the Dow. Meanwhile, in Europe, the German DAX remains in a sideways range, which you can see there. Not much movement at the moment, but I suspect there's something on the cards to get this market to break out and head back to the all-time high there as well. So for me, yesterday they tested the market, no selling around, likely to move to the upside there. In the 30-minute chart yesterday, there was weakness and uncertainty with regards to the Palestinian situation, but the market then managed to find its support from the US at 2:30 p.m. and move to the upside, which you can see there. So expect the high of yesterday to be taken out during today. Back to the US, the S&P making a new all-time high, 6699. That's going to be taken out today, isn't it? It's too easy to actually target. So the S&P continues to move to the upside. Again, 2:30 p.m. the cash market just saw an increase in prices across the board, driving them to through the high of Monday, which was also an all-time high put in on Friday. And the market, they're continuing. So again, expect the high from yesterday to be taken out during today. There was a bit of a shakeout first thing in the morning. Again, that the uncertainty of how it's going to unfold and how it's going to be monitored, with Palestine being recognised as an independent state to Israel. So let's wait and see. Like I say, that's the only sort of chink in the armour of stopping the markets from moving to the upside during the next few months and all the way through to December. The FT100 consolidating nicely, getting ready to want to move to the upside there as well. And in the 30-minute chart, you can see rather choppy yesterday up to the 200 MA, managed to get through, then came back, and then after the US OpenAI Nvidia deal, the markets are moving to the upside back to the close overnight, but I suspect yesterday's high is likely to be tested during today. And in the US dollar, down yesterday, which supported the gold and silver price, but again, some sort of reality now coming in with this nonsense of it moving higher following the rate cut last week. So the dollar down yesterday should start to move back to the downside. Bit of a dead cat bounce going on there in the US dollar. So let's have a look at the metals. And starting off with silver, we continue to get these 14-15 year highs, 44 through yesterday. 44.09 is where the market stopped, and it looks like it's poised to break again during today and continue this move to the upside, playing catch up after all of these years. So silver there, they tried at lunchtime, they couldn't help themselves, but then the buying came in. Look at that, huge volumes came in and sent the market higher. Again, in Asia, as it's quiet, let's try and slam the price a bit, but that's now failed as well. I think it's a case of it not so much failing, but it's actually now being pulled back to buy in at a cheaper rate, to be honest with you, because we're just not getting these massive pullbacks that we used to get. When they had the opportunity, they would seize that opportunity and they would just hammer the market to the downside and protect the shorts that were holding these positions, but that seems to have changed now. Meanwhile, in gold, making new all-time highs there as well, and also overnight, and this is because of the uncertainty that is behind this so-called superficial nonsense that's going on at the moment, with stocks continuing to move high at the highest valuations they've ever seen in history. But that's irrelevant at this point in time. It won't be, because once the selling does turn up in the markets, then God help the short side, is all I can say. But at the moment, it's all fine and dandy and being brushed under the carpet, as I say. Nice moves in the volume in the gold markets as well over the last month as well there. So everything moving nicely for the gold market. But this is a very important market now, because it is actually highlighting the uncertainty within the world and why there is a flight to gold, because something big is coming down the line. So there you can see that going on at the moment. Let's have a look at the gold-silver ratio. And wow, yesterday, on Friday, we saw the market move lower. It's moved lower again, and it's still showing red there. Silver playing catch-up, as I just mentioned, after all of these years of price suppression. I mean, we're talking a lot as well. We're talking 1980, 40 years plus of these markets being suppressed, and now the lid's coming off the silver market and it's being allowed to move. So yeah, I'd expect the gold silver ratio to continue lower. It just depends on how fast the gold price moves against it, of course, but so far so good. Right, let's have a quick look through yesterday's German DAX 2-minute chart. As I mentioned in yesterday's alert before completing it, that we could expect the low to be tested in the German DAX, and it was tested in the pre-market, and you can see they're doing their best to try and hold it, and of course this failed. The market then taking out the low before we even got to the cash market, and then it continuing lower, which you see there all the way down to the S2 when we found some sort of support there. Prices became a little more settled and sideways, and then moved back. We had a potential buy signal which failed to fill. The stop was hit before the fill price, and then we come back and retest that S2, and you can see them buying in there as well, just to hold the support to the left there with the green. And then we had a potential short that failed, and then the long side took over as we got a bounce back to the upside through the early part of the morning, and then another potential buy signal there as well, which was short-lived, and we went back down through the S2 and then continued, as you can see there, until we found further support to bounce back and then get stuck in a range throughout the mid-morning and lunchtime. Bouncing up with the Dow futures, but then only to be hit, and then back to the S2, and then with the Dow opening there, lending support. It was a bit of a weakish open for the S&P, but then the market moved back to the upside, and there you see prices following the Dow and the S&P to the upside, but not with any great momentum whatsoever. It was a matter of we got through the 200 MA and then we came back, and then we traded sideways there as prices was just stuck in a range. So the FT and the Dow, which would normally track both the S&P and the Dow, at the moment are really not following, just lacking any sort of momentum and obviously synchronicity with them as well. Where are we overnight? Let's just have a quick look there. We can see that we're already starting to move to the upside and heading back to yesterday's high, which I spoke of a few moments ago, so no surprise there whatsoever. Right, that's it for this one. Let's see what happens today, particularly at 5:30 when Powell speaks, to see if he's going to hint at further rate cuts coming forward, or going forward I should say. So that's at 5:30 p.m. And don't forget, Trump is also going to be speaking as well, so he'll be doing whatever he can to again support the stock market prices. Right, that's it for this one. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.